Today marks 1 year since Zahriya Moreno was fatally injured in what officials call a domestic violence incident. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for her family as charges were filed against her then boyfriend, then dropped. But tonight, we've learned a civil lawsuit has now been filed against the man who officials say was there the night of Zahriya's lethal injuries.
It's been extremely difficult. We've had to find new avenues of therapy and coping mechanisms. Travel has been a little bit important, or getting off into quiet spaces where we can reflect.
It's been unreal and saddened at our justice system that has failed from the incident. It's failed us, so that's been twice as hard. Losing not just my daughter to this horrible domestic violence, but then not getting justice.
1 year ago, 22-year-old Zahriya Moreno was severely injured in a domestic violence incident, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. The interim complaint states Zahriya and her boyfriend at the time, Angelito Olivas, had an argument early that morning. The document states at some point, Zahriya ended up on the trunk of his vehicle as he tried to leave the area. It also states Olivas knew Zahriya was on the trunk and kept driving anyway. It goes on to state at some point during the ordeal, she fell off and sustained a head injury. Zahriya was driven to the Drexel Heights Fire Department and taken to the hospital by first responders. Sadly, Zahriya was taken off life support shortly after.
It's difficult because we have to remain neutral. That's been the advice that has come in our direction. However, I think that people are insightful enough and intelligent enough to put facts together, 2 and 2. So
it's been double the pain for these parents as they also lost their son Isaac, Zahriya's twin, in a crash just a couple of years before.
They were twins, their energy was so strong. They had so much light and friendship and love. They left everybody.
Not being able to call her, sometimes still to this day, I see something that reminds me of her or my boy, and I pick up my phone and I want to text them or call them.
Initially, Olivas was arrested on charges of felony domestic violence, aggravated assault, and felony endangerment. He was released later in the day after posting a $2,500 bond. A little more than a week later, the Pima County Attorney's Office dismissed the case against Olivas, stating in part, quote, "In this case, the Sheriff's Department is working on a number of assignments that will take some time, and our office anticipates another presentation of the case by the Sheriff's Department in the future. Our goal is to ensure that our decisions in charging cases are made with all information needed to provide a fair and just judicial process." But now, a civil lawsuit has been filed against Olivas on behalf of the Moreno family.
We haven't lost faith, that we have to do what we have to do. And if that's why we have to do it, because of our system, we have to be her voice, and she mattered. We
are currently, I don't know if happy is the word for it, at the work that our civil attorneys are pursuing. They're very, very capable. And if I'm honest, they've been very, I'm going to even say they appear to be emotionally involved and invested in our situation.
I spoke with the Pima County Attorney's Office about ongoing efforts to find more evidence in the case. They say they informed the family no criminal charges would be filed and said they are, quote, "unable to provide any further comment on the case at this time." But the family has not stopped fighting. In fact, they have become advocates for victims of domestic violence, holding an event over this past weekend in Zahriya's honor.
Keep her name out there. And be aware, if anybody knows anything, that could come forward and help us in anything. But put awareness in domestic violence. If you see something, say something,
If we can do anything to prevent that from happening in the future, We don't want anyone to experience what we are experiencing. We know that our children were blessed. We know that they were gifts from God. And again, I know we'll see them again. That's why we're determined to push forward and see this through.
The family plans to continue their advocacy and will continue holding events to keep Zahriya's memory alive. They ask us to reiterate, if you have any information that can help them, please reach out to law enforcement.